M1A1 Abrams is going to Ukraine. Originally, it was supposed to be the M1A2, and the numbers are still the same. It's 31, which is a Ukrainian tank battalion's worth because they use the Russian tank doctrine. They have 10 tanks per company with one battalion commander's tank, three tank companies, 31 tanks. There's your tank battalion. The M1A1 is an incredibly capable tank. It saw service in Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and then with the Marine Corps, it's seen service in Operation Enduring Freedom in Helmand Province. There have been numerous upgrades to the M1A1, and apparently these Abrams are going to be pulled from existing stockpiles, which is going to be really advantageous because a lot of the M1A1s have been grabbed up from many different units like 1st Tank Battalion, 2nd Tank Battalion from the Marine Corps, 4th Tank Battalion from the Marine Corps, as well as all the other feeder units that have fed their M1A1s that have then been taken back to various locations where they can then be retrofitted. No idea whether or not the depleted uranium armor packages will be included with this Ukrainian transfer, but regardless, it's a really capable tank, and it's a lot more analog than the fully digital architecture inherent in the M1A2 and SEP variants of the Abrams. It doesn't have a CITV, but it still has fantastic visibility when compared to the Russian T-series tanks that we're seeing over there right now. It's got good mobility. It does have a gas turbine engine, which is kind of a pain in the ass to work on, but it's still a pretty stout engine. It's 1,500 horsepower, can get up and boogie. It glides over the terrain. The track system, while a pain in the ass, is still pretty easy to work on. It is maintenance-heavy monster because it's a tank. Crew comfort-wise, it's going to be a lot more comfy than the T-72 series. That driver's going to have the lazy boy chair they can lay down and chill. The gunner's going to be kind of squashed in there. The loader's going to be able to spread out a little bit more. That TC's going to be right behind that gunner to be able to kick him in the back of the face when he misses his shot. But so one thing to also think about is that the Ukrainian tankers are used to fighting 3 men to a tank. Now with the Abrams and the Leopard 2 and the Challenger 2s, they're going to have to come to a 4-up tank. Now you can fight a tank with 3 people, or even if you have to, 2 people, although it's not advisable to fight a 2-man Abrams or Challenger 2 or Leopard 2. There's a lot of moving pieces that have to happen there. So at least a 3-man crew for that tank to be able to stay in action, to be able to get that gun loaded, to be able to traverse and identify targets, engage targets, to drive around. And then, of course, for maintenance, it's nice to have that extra crewman, especially when you have a turbine engine that you're going to have to pull back on and do all kinds of goodies to. That trained and ready maintenance team is going to be really, really important. I don't know whether or not they're going to be sending field service representatives or FSRs from General Dynamics over there. More to follow on that. That is probably kept a little close to the belt, but you never know. They've been playing kind of fast and loose with disclosures, so we'll see what we can see. Now, how does the Abrams stack up to the T-62s, the T-64s, the T-72s, the T-80s? It's tough to say because there's so many different variants out there, but visibility for the tank commander is vastly improved. The commander's cupola has a bunch of windows around it, or a bunch of periscopes around it, so they can have superior visibility than what the Russian tank commanders have. The loader's hatch has 1 periscope that can traverse, so that does bode a little bit more advantageous for the loader for that visibility. The gunner obviously can look through the gunner's primary sight and then the gunner's auxiliary sight to make sure they're clear of the berm. So when they're engaging things, you want to make sure that you're looking through the gunner's auxiliary sight so that you're not going to shoot the berm. Then it comes to the driver. The driver has 3 periscopes like they have on the T-80, which are fantastic for overall visibility. It's a really, really good tank if you incorporate the SA package or some of the other packages that have the BIOC. I forget what that stands for. This is the acronym for it right here. It really increases situational awareness and the rapid acquisition and the lack of having to stick your face in the sight all day and night. A little bit easier. You can look down, identify a target. The BIOC is the way to go. Really like this thing. The bore sighting procedures are going to be slightly different from the M1A2, but regardless, you're still going to be able to hit super far out. I'm not going to give exact distances, but if you can see it, you can basically kill it. Now, which specific optics are going to ship on these M1A1s, that still hasn't been disclosed either. It could be a hodgepodge of a few different things, but for logistics purposes, I would suggest shipping them with a common optics package if possible. I mean, 31 of them, you could pull them from a Marine Corps tank battalion or a few different Marine Corps tank companies. If you have FMC M1A1s that aren't used for test bed vehicles or whatever, you just send those over. Um, yeah. Hope this has been informative. This is a tankers review, which is you can look up the history of the M1A1, and there's a lot of fantastic YouTubes on that out there. But this is my take as to what would be going on it. Have a great day.